Ladies and gentlemen, it really gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce to you the speaker of this closing ceremony. Here is 10th series Professor Gajraj Dhanarajan, who happened to be my boss when he was here as Associate Director and then Director of the Open Learning Institute back in 1989 and then 91 to 95. He has kindly agreed to join the conference to celebrate OUHK's 25th anniversary. So a very brief introduction before I introduce him to the stage. Emeritus Professor Dhanarajan is Malaysian. He holds a DIC and MSc from the Imperial College of the University of London and a PhD in biology from the University of Aston in Birmingham, UK. Dr. Dhanarajan is acknowledged as one of the world's leading advocates and experts in open and distance learning. He has been involved in distance education and open learning for over 30 years. He participated in establishing a number of distance learning systems in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, Nigeria, Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Mozambique. The list is so very long, Raj. Between 1982 and 2004. In mid-1989, he was invited by the government of Hong Kong to help establish the Open Learning Institute of Hong Kong. Now, of course, it's the Open University of Hong Kong. When he was first appointed as the Associate Director Academic, remember? And then subsequently promoted to Director of the Institute from 91 to 95. In 1992, the Institute honored Dr. Dhanarajan by conferring on him the title of Professor, and then Professor Emeritus in 1995 when he left here. He told us when he left that he would retire to his hometown of Penang. Not true, Raj. In mid-1995, Professor Dhanarajan was invited to be the second president and CEO of the Commonwealth of Learning, based in Vancouver, Canada. COL, of course, is an intergovernmental agency of the Commonwealth of Nations with a mandate to support, enhance, and promote open learning in the 54 member states of the Commonwealth. Professor Dhanarajan retired from Commonwealth of Learning in May 2004 and returned to Penang, Malaysia. Not retirement. From 2006 to 2008, Professor Dhanarajan was the founding Vice Chancellor and CEO of the Wawasang Open University. And he is now the Honorary Director of OU's Institute for Research and Innovation. Professor Dhanarajan is a recipient of 10 honorary degrees, maybe more now, as well as Malaysia's highest civilian award, which carries the title of 10th series. Can we have Professor Dhanarajan?
Friends, you've just heard the life history of a frequent flunky of retirement. And that's what I've been. And I tell you, this invitation may spell success in that particular area. Now, let me first congratulate and compliment OUHK for a remarkable conference in all aspects. And President Wong, you should be very proud of your team. They are a good team, I know. Casey and team members, you have done well. And yet again, for the third time in the AAOU history, you have delivered a conference that participants will remember for a long time. President Wong, you may wish to note that I was the chair of the organizing committee of on the first occasion, a keynote presenter on the second, and on this third, a valedictorian. I may have a comment on that in a little while. Secondly, it gives me a lot of pleasure to congratulate the winners that you will be announcing soon of the best papers. I want to say in advance, well done. Your winning presentations, I'm sure, will reflect that there is excellent scholarship, sometimes latent, but it is there, on the subject of open education on this continent, and what perhaps is required for this scholarship to flourish is a more encouraging and supportive institutional environment to help the talent that is abundant. The direction that you just announced, President Wong, for OUHK, perhaps is the kind of direction that I would have wanted to hear when the President's Forum was being assembled. Professor Kanwa's excellent key on the first day of the meeting is both an appeal and an urgent call to Asian Open Universities and its leadership especially to be the enablers of this emerging scholarship. Third, I wish to compliment the 4 keynote presenters who have successfully framed their addresses around the conference theme. The tone was right, the insight shared deep, and the breadth of their own scholarship impressive. And the views that they presented balanced, which is terribly, terribly important. I'm grateful that the organizers saw it fit to invite me here to this meeting. I was enriched by the experience. I also wish to thank all of you, especially the organizers, for the invitation to deliver this valedictory address. It is not every day one gets to say the last word, especially. Since the invitation also did not restrict me to what I could or not say, I hope after the speech, Casey will not regret making the decision to invite me. I have a reputation of stating sometimes inconvenient truths. You know, over the last 28 years of the AAOU's conferencing history, I have played a role in one way or another, sometimes insignificant, and other times modestly significant. To younger presenters, you may wish to note that I first started my participation as a presenter at one of the parallel sessions in perhaps the very first conference. And over the years, I was promoted to be a lead speaker in one of the plenaries. And in the last 15 or so years, as a principal keynote addressee, at perhaps half a dozen meetings. And as I near my 75th birthday, a valedictorian. But I was reminded this morning by my very close friend, almost a daughter, Tian, that I did make another valedictory address in Jakarta sometimes in 2005. There you are. As you get older, Alzheimer's does creep in. It has been, for me at least in terms of the AAOU, a long, rewarding, and certainly a very satisfying journey. 30 years ago, not 27, and I think Tian presented the history of AAOU. 30 years ago, this association perhaps had a beginning. It started off as actually a club of 5 vice-chancellors, initiated by the then very dynamic rector of the Sukhothai Thamizrat Open University. And then it moved on to 7, a club of 7 or 8 vice-chancellors. It remained a club, actually, until 89? Oh, no, maybe either 89 or 90, when young upstarts like the OUHK was invited. And I think the Vice-Chancellor's Club didn't realize what they were getting themselves into. We organized, as an OLI, the first of the 3 meetings that I just mentioned. And to the misfortune of almost everybody concerned, I was asked to be a Secretary General to a very thoughtful and creative Japanese Vice-Chancellor, Professor Obe of JOU. He was already then a 90-year-old retiring astrophysicist or somebody in that category of stratospheric science. And so left a lot of things in my hand and in the hands of this very young institute. Since we were given the task, we decided we will rewrite the constitution of the Asian Association of Open Universities. You are the beneficiaries of that constitution. From a club of 7, you're now a membership organization of what, 60? About that. And from just meeting in the typical vice-chancellor's fashion of sharing perhaps a glass of tiger beer or sherry, you have also taken as an association a lot of activities to promote scholarship in the field through conferences, seminars, staff exchanges. The AAOU has done well during this quarter of a century, but it may have to ask itself in 2014, and the eye-opener for me was the President's Forum, that as it moves towards its 30th birthday, if that is all it can do, or should it do more? Community building through annual conferences, great dinners, and equally wonderful cultural presentations and entertainment, along with the exchange of gifts, is wonderful to bring camaraderie. I think perhaps more can be expected from a professional assembly of academic administrators and scholars. In the remaining few minutes, and though Casey didn't tell me how long I could take, I know it's 5 o'clock and it's time for dinner, so I'll censor myself. In the remaining few minutes that I have to wrap this valedictory, let me list at least a few things that the AAOU, as the only Asian association dedicated to the promotion of openness in education, could have done, but has not, which it should, because openness in education, as we had understood on our continent and practiced, has evolved and has gone on to attract, as you've just mentioned throughout this conference, every type of provider of higher education, not just from our continent, but globally. There are new forms, new actors, new expectations, and not all of them are ethical. Many of them are crooks. The AAOU, for the sake of its member institutions, needs to position itself to take advantage of the evolution and at the same time find ethical means, responsible means to meet the competition. The task force that you're setting up to look at the MOOC phenomena, and I still remain a skeptic, is a good way forward. And I sincerely hope that this task force does a lot better than the last one. The association set up to consider in Tokyo on the issue of open educational resources. Or perhaps even an earlier one that was set up to revitalize the journal. May I, therefore, Casey, wish you, let not the baggage of past failures to finish the task of the task force deter you from completing this task, because from what you hear, this is a serious, serious challenge, at least for the next few years. Let it not detract you from moving forward with this new task. Perhaps a few more things. Very importantly, the AAOU, in my mind, its most single missed opportunity is the absence of impact it has failed to make in policy-making circles within Asia, and especially Asian governments, or its development agencies, whether it's the Asian Development Bank or organized APEC, for instance, ASEAN, SARC. The AAOU cannot claim credit for even one single policy initiative. And for the last 28 years, we have been a professional organization. We cannot claim credit for even one policy design on ODL that has come from your work, from our work. I'm just as guilty in not doing enough as anybody else. We have not influenced our governments of the region as a collective, as an organization, not as individual institutions within your country, on matters relating to innovation in the delivery of education. Please correct me if this is not the case. You can change this. Even as your organization is reaching its 30th birthday, by drawing upon the knowledge and experience of your young scholars. Commission and produce policy documents as a professional association, backed by evidence on all aspects of the new forms of higher education that governments and citizens have to confront with, including MOOCs. Do we have, or does anybody have a document that up to now has built up evidence of what is happening relating to MOOCs? The Ivy Leagues of Asia, Tokyo, Singapore, Hong Kong, universities have all signed up on MOOCs. What have they done? What have they provided? Do we know how many are participating? Do you know how much we have put into it in terms of cost? Shouldn't somebody, a professional organization, undertake this task to commission the studies, get the evidence out, and prove skeptics like me wrong? I want to be wrong. My skepticism is couched in the knowledge that I don't know what kind of benefits it's going to bring to our people. Give us the evidence. Prove people like me wrong. Now, there are things that you can do, and I'll just make a shorter list. I got a long list, but I think in terms of time, I'll make it a shorter list. Number one, in relating to just MOOCs, but more than that, assessment and credentialing is going to be at the top of our minds because every Asian wants a qualification that they can flash. Okay? Whether you like it or not, they want it. Not a badge, a qualification. In the new environment where borders protecting the integrity of indigenous qualifications is at risk, what is the experience of Asian Open Universities and what is the future looking like in this area? Is a study important? If so, would you want to commission on it? Number one. Number two, the erosion of conventional qualification frameworks. It's happening. I think qualification agencies around the region are examining on whether the long-held belief of a 7-tier qualification is about the right thing, or are we ready to change? Is it changing? Maybe another study in the making. Third, the mobility of the Asian worker. Is there a collective thought? Is there a collective thought that we can submit on what is necessary to maintain the value, the dignity of Asian labor that's moving across the continent and more? And even as ASEAN becomes an ASEAN economic community with big declarations, how are the open universities responding to? Could a Thai study in Penang or in Kuala Lumpur through OUM and get his prior learning recognized? Could somebody come to Hong Kong? It's mind-boggling. You're literally looking at millions of Asians moving about. And there's something to be done to... A study is required. And in that case, when was the last time that the AAOU issued a state of open distance learning, or the new form that Fred just had, ODL practice on this continent? When was the last time? Did we ever issue a report on the state of ODL on this continent? 60 universities, do we know how they've gone as a collective? Because when you look at the bigger picture, then you can actually draw recommendations for future directions. But you can't do it around a dinner table, I'll tell you that much. Because that's passion. It's not commitment, it's not pledge. When you seriously look at this association and what it can do in terms of promoting serious scholarship in this field, I would say that might be a starting point. Get your young scholars together because they have energy, they have insight, they have skills to search and navigate the web, and they could produce you wonderful reports. Doesn't cost a lot of money either. Anyway, that perhaps might be the last word that I will say. Let me wrap this by complimenting again the OUHK on an excellent conference. You certainly make me proud as a one-time colleague of yours by the sheer professionalism that you've brought to this task. And personally speaking, I'm always grateful for the warmth of hospitality from all of my friends. Very often you'd see me not sitting amongst presidents, but you'd see me sitting among my colleagues who worked with me in making this university a great university. I thank you.
Exciting time. Announcements of award results. But before I announce the results, I'd like to add a remarks that Raj is one of the most respected scholars, always in my mind, in my heart. I truly believe that. Not only because he was my boss, he was the person who has laid the foundation of open education of this institute. He is the person who has led our big team to really see the importance of open education, openness. He opened up our mind. Quite often, in our daily business, we see the importance of revenue, QA, following a lot of procedure, making sure that we satisfy a lot of criteria. All these are very important. We must do all this. But we must also remember the value of education, why, and also why. We have come to open education. That is great value in open education. And we need to treasure that, promote that, and really do that. MOOC, we see that it is a small part of it. What is important is open education is always something that we all treasure and protect and will work on. That is part of our life and the essence of AAOU. That is what we will treasure. I'm very glad that we have Raj with us. You have given us a lot of challenge, not only to me, of course a lot is on me, but also to AAOU, our big family, our association. We'll take up the challenge. When we say we take up the challenge, we don't mean that we just, oh, we'll do it. Or we take up more than we can bite. We'll do it according to our resources. We'll do it prudently. We'll remember your challenges. Thank you very much. Okay, the exciting time. The AAOU has now 3 awards. The Best Paper Award for research papers. We treasure it. We believe that it is important to our scholarly development. We promote this. So we very much encourage all institutions to devote resources to research, encourage your academic college to write research papers. We want more and more quality research papers. We see that in terms of quality, there are wide diversity. Some are very good, some still need a lot of improvements. Now, to us, in this conference, we try our best to give chances as far as possible. But of course, there are papers we need to reject. We hope that these will gradually improve. Presidents, vice presidents, please help us improve the quality, encourage your staff to conduct research. The next award, new award, also very important, Best Practice Award, that is for sharing of good practices. Tell you a tips to gain. The tips is from Professor Ho Sin Chai of Hwa-Chang Open University, who is the adjudication panel chair of this award this time. He highlighted the essence of it. We must have innovation. There must be creative part, characteristics part in your paper, in what you describe as good practice. So if you want to gain a prize in this award next time or in future, please remember this. The third one, Young Innovator Award. Now, we don't have too many papers this time, but again, we are very happy that we have quite a number of very good papers, though not too many. But please remember the criteria. To be a winner, you must be under 40 years old. I'm not qualified, under 40 years old. And your paper must be single-authored. Okay? So if you want to have this prize, remember this. Okay, now for each of these categories, we have 1 gold medal and 2 silver medals. Who are winners? Let me announce who will be presenting the prizes first. will present the Young Innovator Award first. We are inviting the Associate Vice President, Professor YK Yip, to present the award for us. Professor YK Yip, please. Who are the winners? We have 2 silver medal winners. The first one is Xiaoyang Xu from Zhejiang Radio and Television University, China, whose paper title is An Empirical Study on Flipped Classroom in Open University Teaching Based on Ecological Perspective, a case study on translation theory and practice. Congratulations. The next silver medal goes to Nanva Kumar Subramanian from Open University, Malaysia. The paper title is Self-Managed Learning via Weblog, Design and Implementation. The gold medal goes to Karen Cole from Wawasang Open University. Her paper title is Virtual Collaboration Learning Using Wikis for Adult ODL Learners, the case of Wawasang Open University. Congratulations. Okay, congratulations. The next one is Best Practice Award. Who are the winners? The silver medal goes to these very well done people. The first silver medal goes to OUHK Imaso and AAOU İklim, Anadolu University of Turkey. His paper title is Mobile Applications at a Mega University, Anadolu University Campus. May I now invite Professor Ho Sin Chai to present the award for us. The next silver medal goes to Jie Xu and Xiangyang Jiang, the Open University of Jiangsu, China. Their paper title is The Integration of Micro-Lectures into the Blended Learning Discourse in Tertiary Education. Congratulations. Thank you. Now the gold medal. It goes to Christopher Welsh of Torrens University of Australia and Cal Woodward of the Open University of UK. Only Christopher Welsh has come. You might think that it is not Asia. In fact, their paper is on Bangladesh work. Very innovative, very good practice is the potential of mobile phones to transform teacher professional development. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Professor Ho. Now the Best Paper Award. May I now invite the chair of the adjudication panel, Professor Danny Wong, our VP Academic, to come on stage to present the awards. Okay. Thank you, Professor Wong. Here are the winners. The first silver medal goes to this big group from Masumi Hori, Seishu Onu, Shunso Kobayasu, Kasuna Yamaji, Toshuhiro Kita, and Shuno Yamada. Their paper title is Learner Autonomy Through the Adoption of Open Educational Resources Using Social Network Services and Multimedia e-Textbooks. Congratulations. It is a big group. Okay, congratulations. The next silver medal goes to Chuan Hoi Kem, as well as Tun Mai Ngak. Their paper title is Factors Affecting Adult Learners' Persistence in E-Learning Program in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, a mediation analysis of learners' motivation. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Professor Wong. You still have one very important prize to present. Who gets the gold medal? Last night, when everyone left the hotel, I heard a remark to a person. One of the presidents said, "Oh, this guy, he has come to the wrong profession. He sang so well. He should have been a performer rather than coming to be an academics." But this proves that one can be very good in both professions. One can sing very well and at the same time be the winner of the gold medal. The gold medal goes to Maximus Gorkas Simi-Bering. His paper title is Student Satisfaction and Persistence, Imperative Features for Retention in Open and Distance Learning. Congratulations, Maximus. You. We still have chance. Thank you very much, Professor Wong. Congratulations. Okay, my part concludes here. Now, we look forward to next year, right? So we have an introduction of the next year's AAOU conference. Let's now welcome OUM, Open University Malaysia, to introduce the next year's conference to us. Let's welcome OUM.
Thank you, Casey. As the slide says, welcome to Kuala Lumpur. All right, or how we say it in Malaysia is Selamat Datang. I think it's a little bit similar to Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, but the way we say it might be different. Normally, we take our right hand, put it on our heart, and we say Selamat Datang, all right? Maybe we can practice that in preparation for next year. All right. I know it's been a long day, and I know you're dying to get out of the hall. I'm not going to make it long. We're gonna start with welcoming you to KL for the 29th AAOU Annual Conference next year in Kuala Lumpur. I'm going to give you some quick facts. Tentative date around this time, October or early November. This is the conference website, but it's not active yet. You can log in a few months' time. And a tentative team and sub-team, building a better Asia, open and distant learning and its role in human capital development. I think this is the practical side of open universities. The sub-team can be social networking in teaching and learning, convergence of e-learning and mobile learning, OER, again we have MOOC, and the open knowledge movement, corporate e-learning for professional development and training. These are the possible team and sub-team. It's not confirmed, but possible. All right, possible conference venue. We have 3 exciting choices. The first one is our Putra World Trade Center. The second one is the Sri Pacific Hotel. And the final one is our own Kuala Lumpur Convention Center. The location is very central, and it's also very near the university, except for the last one. All right, it's like within 5 minutes walk from OUM main campus. Ample facilities and amenities, easy access to public transport, and short distance to other accommodation around the conference venue. Proposed registration fees, of course, in USD. So we hope the currency just go up. So the exchange rate will be higher. All right, this is the proposed registration fees. As you can see, category full member, associate member, and non-members. Early bird, as usual, you get $50 discount. So register early, or else be prepared to pay 50 more. We might raise it to 100. All right, and our promise and our commitment to you, all right, to financially contribute towards the success of this conference, to obtain additional support from relevant parties in Malaysia, to ensure that all needs of the AAOU and conference participants are fulfilled, to manage all groundworks related to publicity, logistics, etc., and of course to actively collaborate with the AAOU in organizing this conference. That is our promise. I'm not going to hard sell you the conference, all right, but it doesn't mean I'm stopping here. I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why you should attend the conference, all right? The slide itself is very beautiful, isn't it? The first reason why you should attend the conference is because we are the hosts, all right? It's not empty talk. We have proven track records, yeah? First of all, we are the first Malaysian ODL institution. Second of all, we have hosted 8 international seminars and conferences to a great review. Yeah? The feedback was great that we are excellent hosts. So that's a good track record. Hosted the 21st AAOU before. We have hosted AAOU conference before in 2007. And of course, as mentioned earlier, we are chosen by Cole to host the PCF 8 in 2016. So that's why I say we are your hosts. It's one of the awesome reasons why you should come. This is some of the conference picture, the CI conference in 2006. This is the AAOU conference back in 2007, another conference in 2009, 2010, 2011, ICI 12 in 2012. Recently, in 2014, just recently, and the last conference in Bandung in June. All right? Of course, the second reason is the venue. This is Kuala Lumpur. The picture that you're going to see is around Kuala Lumpur. If you are in Kuala Lumpur, you can just hop on our, we don't have MTR, but we have LRT, all right? So you can just hop on to any of these destinations. It's like within not more than 20 minutes. So this is Kuala Lumpur for you. Okay, we have a jungle just next to Kuala Lumpur. So if you diverse interests, we have everything there. And the shopping, right? All right, we have luxurious shopping if you're interested in that. We have modern malls. And if you don't want to pay retail, of course, we have our own ladies' market. It's called Petaling Street. And of course, the night market, the famous night market. This one, it uses all the 5 sensory, all right, from smell to touch to everything. It's different. Different smell, different experience from Hong Kong, of course. The 4th reason why you should come is the people. All right? We are fun people. We are loving people. Isn't that fun? Very colorful, isn't it? I'm letting the picture do the talk because it says, picture says 1,000 words. All right? So our beautiful ladies. See, I told you selamat datang. All right, and finally is the food. This is called nasi lemak, all right? The char kway teow, the banana leaf rice. Some of you salivating. I can see that from here. Keep it for next year. And finally, the salad rice, which can only be obtained in Malaysia and some part of South Thailand. Okay? That is around Kuala Lumpur. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, terima kasih. Welcome and see you in KL next year.